South Wales State Championships here at Eastern Creek Raceway. Coming into this round, outright points leader for the combined touring cars is Barry STERNBECK from Stephen Kent and Steve Mantle. And courtesy of a win in the first race on Saturday, it's Scotty Anderson, Mr. Pro Technica, coming off pole position. Alongside him, Graham Lusty, then STERNBECK, Smith, Barbara, Marin, Wilbo, Sullivan, and that rounds out the top 8. There is the big banger of Lusty. Gary Manell joins me in commentary. Fantastic field of cars and some pretty good racing, as always, from the combined tourists.
Yeah, certainly is. As you said, Scott Anderson, the four-wheel...
Oh, massive tyre smoke.
Unbelievable, the launch of that car. It's just amazing, as we see. And this is a new shot for us here.
Yeah, shot of Lusty there, working the gears as he takes off from the start line, checks his mirrors to make sure that everyone is okay. Combined tourists, Gary, just explain how this class works, because there's a big mix of machinery in this field.
Yeah, there certainly is. It's sort of a combination of about 3 groups. You have the old street sedans, which are a lot of the old VK Commodores. You have production cars, as in the new generation production cars, as we see Car 24 get all out of shape there. And then you see the new generation performance cars, which are out of the Pro Car series.
Yes, of course, the car that Scott Anderson is driving, the Subaru WRX STI, that is the car that was driven by a couple of different drivers, including Chris Alajajian in the Australian GT Performance Championship, and it is a very, very quick car. Scotty's the man that normally swings the spanners on this thing. He is Mr. Pro Technica. He's decided, hey, I deserve a bit of a drive. Let's come out and have some fun.
As we see Greg Smith back in one of the back in third spot there in one of the VT Commodores.
Yes, Smith, another car from Pro Cars, will go on board Lusty as he comes around Corporate Hill now, brings the car down under brakes. This car, big horsepower. STERNBECK now down the inside of Smith, so he makes his way forward into third place. It's fantastic for me, I think, to see that the speed that STERNBECK gets out of that EA Falcon. It is only a 6-cylinder. It's up against a 5.7-litre V8 Commodore for Smith, a late model VX Commodore, and STERNBECK outdrives his way, stays in third just. Smith, no, down the inside, gets the spot back.
Yeah, for those who've been watching the series throughout the year, you'll remember STERNBECK. He's always been up the pointy end of the field. Great competitor, and as you say, that car really shouldn't be where it is, but it does exceptionally well.
Yes, he's a very tough competitor. Further back in the field, it looks like it might be the number 15 of Alan Barrett, who's also doing very well in the outright championship for the combined tours. Of course, this is the 6th and final round of the championship. Scott Anderson out in front by a long shot at the moment. There is Smith hanging on to third place, and STERNBECK are starting to apply the pressure. Also, Michael Barbara further back as well as they come down now into turn number 2. Yeah,
the saloon cars is the other category that this group encroaches or brings into it. And as we see one of the old XD Falcons there, the V8 Falcon, car 71, doing a fantastic job. That's Jeff Turner.
Yeah, Jeff Turner brings it round sideways, and these guys in the older street sedan saloon style cars tend to get the power down and like to slide the things around. Very affordable motorsport as well, and it's a good entry class for those people considering a future with a roof above their head in motorsport. Look at the way the cars just slide their way around. Of course, this with some support from Disc Brakes Australia and also Cutaway Hill Wines helping support the racing here at Eastern Creek Raceway this weekend.
That's right. The combined tours, as we see the Cutaway Hill car, entered car of Brendan Cook.
Yes, Brendan Cook in the Citroen Zara, just bringing it round towards the tail end of the field at this stage. Barbara with a look down the inside of Marin now.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to go on with it as well. Marin with the tail out as he comes out of turn number 9, puts the power down, gets wide in the dirty stuff.
I was just going to say, this category is growing so fast that it's actually going to go up into Queensland, and they're going to start racing the combined touring car category out of Queensland Raceway. It's going to be great.
So it's going to be these vehicles running in Queensland, or they're spawning their own category up there?
They've got their own group of competitors that want to join into this category and be part of it, and it really is good to see.
On board now with Brendan Cook as he brings it up towards turn 11. Gets passed by Graham Roylett there in the Proton Satria GTI. Now the Satria a little bit quicker through the twisty bits, but I think the Zara might have some legs in a straight line. Speaking of legs in a straight line, coming off the back of the grid, Warren Millett in the 301 300 kilowatt GDS Holden, now starting to make his way forward.
Yeah, he's setting the fastest lap times at the moment and really is a man to watch.
Yeah, so Millett now has got past a couple in a straight line, takes Turner as well under brakes, the 71 XD. just left in the wake there under brakes. Those cars not only have a lot of horsepower, but they are very good under brakes. Have a look at Brendan Cook now, closing up the gap through turn number 1. This car, as I said, a little bit quicker in a straight line, but seemed to me had a better run on turn in there. Will dive down under brakes and should get the pass here comfortably. Roylet on the outside, no! Well, Roylet hangs out there and is going to make him work for it.
Yeah, Brendan's just brought this car. Only been about 3 or 4 race meetings, and I think this is the first time that Brendan's actually driven the car. He's had Ben Walsh driving the car in the Australian Production Car Championship up till now.
Yes, so Brendan Cook doing a pretty good job having his own little dice further back in the field. Millet now comes up underneath the Kumo Tyres bridge here around Corporate Hill at Eastern Creek Raceway. Very fast circuit, Eastern Creek Raceway, initially designed to suit motorcycles, which basically means it's flowing. You really got to keep the momentum up. This is one of the probably the slowest corner on the whole circuit, as a matter of fact, and one of the best passing opportunities on the racetrack.
As we see Sternbeck really trying to keep right in behind Greg Smith there, but where's the race leader? You just see a glimpse of him there going down the straight. He has just bolted, and then we've got Graham Lusty, Greg Smith's holding in third, Sternbeck back and forth.
Scotty Anderson doing a magnificent job out in front. Not only can he tune these cars and provide the best of equipment to people like Justin Hemmers, who won the championship, but he also can drive pretty well as well. Speaking of Jetty performance, there is Millet, who has just passed 3 cars in a straight line. That thing is on a march, setting the fastest laps of the race and starting to hunt down our race leaders. Where is Sternbeck gone? Barry Sternbeck was running 4th place. He has just disappeared off the racetrack, probably some sort of an issue. There he is, just on the inside.
Yeah, look, obviously had a problem there coming through turn 1 and parked it on the infield.
Well, that is bad luck for Barry Sternbeck. As I said, he was leading the outright championship for the combined tourists, so that may cost him some points. Now Millet with Alan Marin in his sights. Marin, another one of those guys inside the top 3.
Great looking car, that, isn't it? Just fantastic, the paint scheme on that wake-up car.
You won't miss it, that's for sure. Oh, someone running a little bit wide there. The 37 entry of Anthony, Anthony I'll call him. Sorry, Anthony, I won't even attempt to butcher your last name. Here comes Cook now, all over the tail of Roylet again. Can he find his way around this time? Looks to the inside. He's far enough to go under brakes now.
Yeah, great little dice going on here back in the pack.
No, Roylet just around the outside, forced to nail the brakes was Brendan Cook. Probably should have been a little bit more forceful. The cutaway hill winds entry just absolutely had the door slammed in his face. He's not happy about it either.
No, the car 37 once again and getting all sideways. I'm not even going to pronounce that name either.
Let's just call him Anthony L in the Commodore. Big sideways slide for him, and brings it out of turn number 9 with plenty of attitude. The number 7 entry of Greg Mackay just coming forward, and there is the 79 of Gus Barbara.
Yep.
So 2 Barbara entries. Here's the replay of Anthony L in a nice big drift.
A lot of these cars are running a controlled tyre. It's the same as the improved production. It's a 32R. As we pick up the leader, this guy, he really is doing a fantastic job.
Yes, 1 lap left to run here at Eastern Creek Raceway for the combined 2, as Graham Lusty has not been able to make any inroads as he brings the car down, under brake, shifts it down through a gear. Looks very composed behind the wheel of a big, heavy, high horsepower car.
Yeah, Graham's been involved in motorsport for a long time, and he's no stranger to the big, high, powerful cars like this Falcon.
Yes, so Smith now starting to come under a little bit of pressure from Millet. There is 1 lap left to run, and can Millet get up into 3rd place and secure another spot and some more points? Pass on there between Mackay and Barbara, so Barbara makes his way forward. Mackay, actually, I should say, makes his way forward on Barbara. Field continuing around here, and there in 3rd place, well, Millet has got past Smith, and now he's setting out after Lusty.
Yeah, he's got his eyes switched on, and he is after the next car, and that's Graham Lusty.
Yeah, there is a shot of Lusty on board with him, comes down into the S's here at Eastern Creek Raceway, up towards Corporate Hill, where we bring it round. Millet certainly making massive inroads. No one is going to catch this man. Scott Anderson, the Subaru WRX STI, with thanks to Merivale, Falcon Tyres and Pro Technica, which is Scott Anderson. He is on his way to a very comfortable victory. Yeah,
doing very well, Scott, for a man who doesn't get behind the wheel very often. As you say, he's always working, building these cars and keeping these cars on the track. So tempting points to Scott.
Of course, it is the best of equipment. It is the car that, well, the sister car to the one that won the championship. Scotty Anderson on his way to a comfortable victory here for the combined tourers with thanks to Disc Brakes Australia and Cutaway Hill Wines. He will get there and get there very easily indeed. A nice little jaunt in the seat for him. Further back in the field, here comes Millett now. Well, he's got Lusty in his sights. Does he have the horsepower to get there? I think he might do it. No, just misses out. Lusty will bring it home in second place, and here's a battle further back.
Yeah, that's Sullivan trying to keep in front of, I think that would be Martin. Yes, it is. And look at this. This is absolutely fantastic, right down to the wire.
Greg McKay, I think that is it behind him. He's not going to make his way forward. Let's take a look at the final results for the combined tourers.
Yeah, Scott Anderson takes out a comfortable win from Lusty. Mullet right behind him. Smith, Barbara, Marin, Sullivan, McKay, Barbara and Seal rounding out the top 10.
And outright in the championship, Barry Sternbeck, good enough for #1. Marin will get second and Steve Kent third outright.
Warren had to come through.